What up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, Mac the Giants fan. This is your week 2 edition of the True Blue Aftermath. Let's go, baby.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
I'm on one today. It's a great day to be great, bro. Remember that. It's a great day to be great. Let's go out here. Let's get a win. Let's focus on the details, man.
Yes, indeedy. Week 2 is in the books, and the New York Giants standing tall at 2-0. Once again, another grinded out, hard-fought football game. Wasn't nothing easy, ain't nothing come easy. But the New York Giants, once again, found a way to get it done. Let's do it, baby. Let's go, man. I mean, once again, this offense is still finding its way. But, you know, it did enough and made enough plays down the stretch to get the job done. It was effective down the stretch. Daniel Jones even had to make a couple of plays. And, I mean, Saquon Barkley took him a while to get going, but he got going down the stretch a little bit. You know, obviously nothing compared to what he did a week ago, but you ain't going to get those games every week. They definitely was dialed in on Saquon early in this game and had him bottled up for most of it, man. But in that fourth quarter, he started to assert his will on that Carolina defense. And Daniel Jones, he hung in there. Once again, stat line ain't going to show an all-pro quarterback. It ain't going to show some amazing quarterback performance, but what it was once again effective. 22, 34, 176 yards, and a touchdown on the day. No turnovers, so I'm proud to say that. I'm happy to say he played at least a clean game from that perspective. But, yeah, we do want to see these numbers start to inflate a little bit more. But real quick, what's going on? Speed Dollars, man. Philly B. Normal guy, man. Thanks for all y'all guys stopping in, checking out the aftermath, man, because I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Like I said, this New York Giant team, they not winning pretty, but they winning, and that's what matters. That's what counts, the W. The win-loss column doesn't measure how pretty the win was. It just measures the win or the loss. And right now, the New York Giants got 2 wins, and they got 0 losses, baby. So let's do this. That's what I'm talking about. Who saw this coming? Nobody did. Even after that big win last week, people were still counting this New York Football Giant team out. And they did everything they could to get this game away. The offense was really up and down in this game. Start the game off with 2 big turnovers and couldn't truly capitalize on them. But yet this team still keeps grinding it out. Grinding it out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Hard-fought victory. Ain't nobody had this New York Giant team sitting at 2-0. Nobody did. Ain't nobody even remotely thought this team would be sitting at 2-0 right now. Once again, at the top of the NFC East division. And we'll see. Got the Cowboys getting ready to play in a little bit. They just started now. See how they do. Got the Eagles playing tomorrow night. Could the New York Giants go into next week in sole possession of first place in the NFC East? Yeah, I know it's still early, but my excitement is it's going to be overwhelming because it's been 10 years of bad football for the New York Football Giants. It's been 10 years of very bad football, and we got that heart back. We got that heart back. We out there balling. We doing enough to get the job done. We had to come back last week, and this week we had to close one out. That's what we did. Picking up a couple key first downs down the stretch and closing this game out. New York Giant football, we back, baby. It's back. Defense, giving it everything they got. All the injuries, all the missing pieces. Still out there, giving it everything they got. Getting the job done. Shout out Jose Jimenez. I've been giving you a hard time. Most of New York Giant Nation been giving you a hard time. But you've been out there balling, making the most of your opportunities these first couple of weeks. Hopefully we get our regular guys back and got our full complement of pass rushers available for the Dallas Cowboys next Monday. Because this New York Giant team, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We gonna make everybody earn it. We still young and we still got a ways to go, but we gonna make everybody earn it. Clearly, ain't nobody coming and walking over the New York Giants no more. What's going on, Nate? What's up, Jeff? Thanks for stopping in, bro. Yeah, it's on and popping. This is what I'm talking about. All off season, I was wondering what's going to be the identity of this team. Didn't know what to really expect. Well, these first 2 weeks have shown me what to expect. A team that's going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And we know how to deal. We learn how to deal with adversity. Lost another big guy today, Leonard Williams. We got to see what's going on with that. Hope it ain't nothing too serious. We cannot afford to lose Leonard Williams right now. Everything is going so good for this team. Leo Williams going down that'll be a big hit to the squad if he's going to have to miss any sustained time. That's the toughest break out of this game today, is losing one of the main components on that defense. But yet and still, even after Leo went down, these guys rallied and still they just came together, man, and got the job done. Got the job done, man. Like, this is everything that I'm talking about right here, man. This is everything I wanted to see. But, that's enough of the positive for right now. I got to get into a negative, a huge, 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 huge negative on our team right now. He don't have no name no more. I'm not referring to him by his name. He got to earn his name back from me again. He'll just be number 19. He got to earn his name back. Because he ain't did shit since he put on a New York Giant uniform. Not a single target, nothing today. No targets, no catches, no nothing today. And you mean to tell me that this $70 million receiver can't find his way onto the field? Is it getting that bad now that we're paying this guy to just sit on the fucking sideline? Yeah, so I will no longer refer to him by his name. He is just number 19 until he earns the respect to get called by his name again. Number 19. Show the fuck up. Make something happen. O-line had, to me, in my personal opinion, had a slight regression in this game. They were getting out physical a lot in this game. But that's to be, with a new offensive line, still learning each other's tendencies, gelling together. That's expected to happen. They still held up enough. The pass blocking, it's got to come together. I know how we all feel about Daniel Jones, but let's face it, a lot of them times he was getting rushed immediately, pressure in his face, damn near immediately. With that being said with him, got to see more improvisation, man. Got to see more of more things where you got to create. You know what you're working with. You know what you're working with in front of you. You know what you got trying to protect you. So it's not always going to hold up. It's not going to be perfect. You got to start seeing a little bit more. Just a little. Keep limiting the mistakes. I like that you're taking what the defense gives you. Second straight week, you got a pretty good completion percentage. But still got to turn these numbers into something more, man. 176 yards in the air. That's pretty pedestrian. Let's just call it like it is. That's pretty pedestrian. Shout out to Daniel Bellinger. Congratulations getting your first NFL catch. And it went for a really good touchdown. Strong effort by the young man. Stretching all the way out and getting that ball across that plane, that goal line. Yeah. Gotta love New York Giant football, man. Gotta love New York Giant football, man. This is why I love this team. This is exactly why I love this team. Because they, after all these years of obscurity, all these years of just, I didn't know what to call us, what to say about this team, man. It's been so bad for so long. But now they finally giving me reason to believe again. I know it's still a young season. I know it's still very, very early. A lot more football to be played. But we going to be competing. We're going to be competing. Yeah, we saw the Commanders. They had a hell of an effort getting back into that football game today. I'll give them that. But they came up short still. They still came up short to the Detroit Lions. So right now it's looking very, very promising. I got to see these Cowboys later. Got to see these Eagles tomorrow night, but it's looking real promising right now for the New York Football Giants, man. We got to take care of our business. TCIB, baby. Take care of our business. Taking care of business, man. Like that's what it's going to come down to right now. We have to continue to win the football games we are supposed to win, and then slip a couple in that no one even gives us a chance. Because I guarantee you, coming into this week, we still have not earned the respect of the national media. They were still disrespecting us all week long. Most people still thought the Carolina Panthers were going to just put it on us today. Nah, not this New York Giant team. Not this New York Giant era. Real culture. Real culture is being built in New York. It's a real thing. Now I can believe what I'm seeing because I watched it now for 2 straight weeks. The way they were bottling up Saquon Barkley all this whole entire game, for him to still come out there and just have the effort he had in the fourth quarter to actually turn his day into a halfway decent one. 21 carries, 2 yards on the day. Added 3 catches for 16 yards. I mean, look, not always going to be player of the week performances, man. But like I said, he did enough when it counted the most. Just like our quarterback. That's why I cannot take anything away from him. Because he did enough, especially when it counted the most. He made the plays he needed to make down the stretch. I know this kid ain't no all-pro, and he still hasn't necessarily, I'm not going to say he's earned a new contract yet. By no means am I saying that. But what I'm saying is this kid made the plays that needed to be made when it mattered. And I will take that any day of the week, and I'll especially take it twice on Sunday. Kadarius Toney. 2 receptions, 3 targets, 0 yards. Nah, that's not what we drafted you in the first round for, buddy. However, how much of that is on him? We know that there was one play that he was running wide open, and Daniel Jones clearly missed him. But at the same time, some of the great players, man, they make it a little easier for their quarterback as well. So that's the difference between what we got. We got a lot of good guys. We ain't got nothing great amongst our receiving core right now. Doesn't appear anyway. But we got a couple of good guys. Richie James once again for the second straight week leading this team in receiving. Not exactly anything most of us would ever expect. But look, props to Richie James and props to this coaching staff for realizing that he could be a valuable piece to this offense. I mean, because he was one of those ones we were all wondering, is he going to be Richie James? Is it going to be David Seals? Is it going to be so-and-so, here or there? I mean, I didn't see Darius Slayton. I saw him on the sideline. But clearly, I'm not seeing him on the field, which means the coaches are thinking a lot more about David Seals and Richie James than they are Darius Slayton. I mean, he got a uniform this week at least. At least he did get a uniform this week. I mean, Cordell Flott, Took a while for them to recognize your deficiencies, and they went after you a little bit in that third quarter. But you must have cleaned something up, bro, because they didn't just keep coming for you. So you must have cleaned a little something up. Darnay Holmes, seen you out there making plays. Julian Love, defenses, man. Look, this defense, especially, I'm gonna say something about this secondary because honestly, this secondary is playing. Feel like well above what anybody thought they would. Well above what anybody thought they would, man. This secondary is it's impressing me because we lose Aaron Robinson for the week. We got to fill him with our rookie Cordell Flott. And yeah, he clearly got toasted a few times out there, as we saw getting beat badly on a touchdown by DJ Moore. But he clearly was out there holding his own too. Xavier McKinney all over the field. All over the field. Just love the energy Xavier McKinney brings, man. Just clearly ascending on being one of the top safeties in the NFL in this league. And Dexter Lawrence up there, being big, playing big, just being effective, man. Really like the way our D-line held their own at the line of scrimmage today, man. Taking advantage of certain matchups. It's the red zone defense. Just amazing. Just amazing. Making those Panthers settle for those field goals, it was clutch. That was just absolutely clutch. And you're right, Jeff. The safeties played absolutely. It was just good play, man. Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, them guys right there, man. They could even be the MVPs of the day, man. In this one, in a sense, because I know the offense made the plays down the stretch, but this defense did as well, man. That last defensive possession, getting off the field, getting Carolina off their field, man, that was just something, man. There's something to be said about that, man. The pass rush without Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau, I mean, you can only think that's going to make them it's going to get better when you get these guys back on the field, right? I mean, I would only think that it gets better. Yeah, Julian Love did have that big sack, which was absolutely clutch. That was just a great play, man. The blitzes, these safety blitzes, man, they get just right there. We just got to get these guys down. Xavier McKinney got Baker Mayfield earlier too, but Baker Mayfield actually put a little move on him, and McKinney still hustled up and made the play. Anyway, after the fact, chased Baker Mayfield down and still made a really good play anyway. So Wink Martindale is really smart with these blitzes. The linebacker play still leaves a little bit left to be desired in the coverage in the pass game, man. They was getting beat up by those tight ends a little bit in coverage. But overall, man, Christian McCaffrey, he did have a solid performance as well. I mean, got 15 carries for 102 yards. Obviously, he had that big long one of 49 to help inflate those stats a little bit, but that counts. That's on the stat sheet. That's what it happened. He went over 100 yards on the day on us, man. It is what it is. He's Christian McCaffrey. But we did overall a pretty decent job on him. Held him to 4 catches for 26 yards. So, I mean, he made a few plays here and there, but nothing that broke our back. Absolutely, Jeff. Come on in, man. Share your thoughts, man. It's the aftermath, bro. Please come on in, man. But, so Baker Mayfield on the day, 14 to 20, 29, 145 yards and a touchdown. Once again, just like Daniel Jones, pretty somewhat anemic numbers. And it clearly wasn't enough to get his team W. It just wasn't. So, thank God for that. Like I said, New York Giants, I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day of the week, man. And, yeah, they absolutely did, Jeff. I agree 100% with that. Other than that big 49-yard run he busted, they did a lot better in the second half against McCaffrey. Kept him a little more bottled up, making him really earn everything he was getting. But like I said, he's one of the top backs in the league, if not the top back in the league. So he's a tall order, man. It's always going to be. It's always a. He's going to be always be a handful. So I'm proud of what the New York Giants were able to do with him today. And just like I said, oh man, this defense, man. Where else to go with this defense? It totally kept us in this game. Hey, what's going on, Jeff, man?
What do you think?
How you feeling, man? How are you feeling, my brother, man? Let 2-0. How does
2
2-0
and
feel?
0, 2-0, New York Giants. Maybe we should start listening to Lou more often because he's starting to become very right on a lot of these things he says. I mean,
Oh my God.
props to our guy, G Nation. I mean, he's looking like a smart dude right now. 2-0, and I heard your comments about DJ. You're absolutely right. He was very up and down with his passing, and the numbers don't really reflect on it. But when it came down to it, DJ made those clutch plays that the team needed to win, including that big run up the middle, that the Giants needed that play. They put the ball in the hands of Daniel Jones, and he made that play to win the game. So got to give credit to Daniel Jones on that. And Barkley started stepping it up in the middle. And you know what? David Stills, Richie James, these guys, they made plays too. David Stills had a couple of clutch first down catches in this game that he had. He did some pretty solid job blocking too. And Richie James, this dude has just been a great find for the team coming in. He's just filled in the job over in the middle of the field. And I mean, my boy Shep didn't have big numbers today, but he had some more great blocking and got that big penalty on the right side when he was going deep and he was wide open. So I mean, the reserve wide receivers did their job. And you know what? Another guy, Mac, O'Shane Ximines. Looks like a fucking beast out there. Ximines looks like a beast. What do you have, like 1 or 2 sacks today and a couple of tackles for loss? O'Shane Ximines looks great right now.
A lot of good pressure he had on Baker Mayfield today. And I definitely gave him his props, man, because like I said, I've been giving him a hard time. But, yeah, he definitely stepped up. One of the guys that's answering the bell right now. And let's keep it up, man. I want to keep this. This feels good. Winning
it's
feels
a feeling we have not had in a long time. It is such a great feeling. We have not felt this in so long. I'm going to keep it going.
I mean, winning feels great.
It does.
And I can get used to this. I know I can get used to it.
Oh, I can definitely get used to this. Gives you that extra pep in the step, that extra little swag when you go into work on Monday. It's that great feeling all the time. Be like, yeah, well, we're 2-0. We're 2-0, and the Jets got a big comeback win today too. So both New York teams stepping it up and having big wins this weekend.
The New York team's getting it done today, man. There was a lot of good action around the league, man.
There was.
That Detroit-Washington game was crazy. Detroit looked like they were going to blow the doors off of Washington. And then Washington battled all the way back into that game, man. It came down to a final possession where Detroit was finally able to close the door on them. So shout out to the Detroit Lions for taking care of that business for us too.
No doubt about it.
Keeping us ahead, keeping us a little bit above the competition. I'll take that all day long. And like I said, let's hope
bring it back.
Let's hope. I hope that the Dallas Cowboys can take that L too.
Oh, I think they're definitely taking that L.
Let them go to 0-2. Let Cincinnati handle them. And then, like I said, let's hope Minnesota, man. I'm going to be a big Minnesota fan tomorrow night, man, just for 4 quarters. I'm going to be rooting hard. I ain't going to lie. It's not just about hate. It's just about I want the New York Giants to enjoy a week of being number 1 in the division all by themselves, baby. I don't want to share it. I don't want to share that.
Why the hell do we want to share
with nobody else right now?
Hell no. This is our division now. We don't want to share with no stinky Eagles. Let them go over down. Let them play the Minnesota Vikings and let Justin Jefferson score 2 or 3 touchdowns on that defense going forward. And let Dalvin Cook run up and down that middle of that defense. It's our division now. Everybody's been disrespecting us for so long, and I know, Mac, myself, and a lot of Giants fans did say we have to see this team go out there and show that they can turn the corner. And right now, it's only 2 games, but right now, it feels damn good because this team is going out there and showing that they can win. They have remembered how to win.
It's the way they're winning too. It's like these are prototypical games where this team last year would not have won either one of these football games. They would have absolutely fallen apart.
No
but
doubt.
yet they're making the plays. The defense makes the big plays down the stretch. The offense comes out and responds, makes the big plays down the stretch. It's just like I said. If
Graham
Daniel Jones
Gano.
that
Graham Gano. The
58.
best pickup that Dave Gettleman ever made was signing Graham Gano, and he hit not one, but two clutch 50-plus yard field goals. That guy
That's what
is so damn clutch for this team. And when he
it
goes
runs
out there, we
all
all
through the
feel
locker room.
confidence.
It runs all through the locker room, man. The energy, it runs all through the locker room, man. Everybody's getting some of that, man. Everybody's on board, man. It feels so good. 2 weeks in a row. When's the last time the Giants had a winning streak?
They just said it last year during weeks 12 and 13 of 2020 was the last time the Giants won two in a row. 12 and
Wow.
13 of 2020 was the last time we won
Wow.
two consecutive games. Dallas is starting to move the ball a little bit up and down the field on Cincinnati. I mean,
Well,
holy shit! I mean, this is such a great feeling right now as a Giant fan. I mean, it's a feeling that we have not had for so long after the shit football we have been watching for so many
yeah,
years.
lying, bro.
And it's finally such a great feeling to go see this team go out there and not find ways to lose, but they're actually going out there now and finding ways to win. And it all starts with that head coach. Brian Daboll, I don't know what he's done. Him, Wink, Kafka, these guys have brought in some type of new culture, like you mentioned before I hopped on. The culture on this team is different from what they had previously with guys like Shermer, Judge, McAdoo. It's just a different feeling right now with what Daboll and Shane and Martindale are bringing to this team. And it's reflecting right now on the field with a good amount of these players. Just the leadership that's coming out of it from some of these players, the clutch plays now. They turned O'Shane Ximines from a third-round bust to right now the dude looks like an all-pro with the way he's playing.
I mean, he
Now
had he
the
had a
only
tremendous game today.
he did, he was fantastic. The only thing that dampers this loss right now is what's the status of Leonard Williams, because if he is
Yeah.
out for the season, that's a monumental blow to this defense. So hopefully he's going to be okay. He did suffer the knee, but otherwise that, I mean,
I mean,
I
from
mean,
one standpoint, he was walking off the field on his own power, but we also know we've seen players do that and still get the worst news,
yeah,
So
he might have
we can
blown
just
out
hope for
his
the
knee.
best,
Hopefully he's
man.
not.
We can hope for the best. Maybe worst case scenario, he's dealing with something similar to with Kayvon,
Mm,
strained MCL, maybe, which obviously we know that can be just a few weeks, maybe or so.
mm,
But we'll see. I mean, right now, I've just got to hope for the best. The fact that he wasn't able to even return and they ruled him out almost immediately tells
yeah.
me that it is a little something going on.
I think it might be
So,
serious. They ruled him out immediately, so that gives you the indication it could be a serious injury for that defensive line. It sucks because, I mean, we're almost this close to being able to see those four guys on that defensive line. I mean, so it sucks to think about that, but now you have to think about it too. With how well Zimenez is playing, and if Leo is out for like an extended period of time of the season, do you think that maybe Zimenez can play on that defensive line, and maybe they move a guy like Ojolari or Thibodeau sometimes to that defensive tackle position, to
I
like mix it
mean,
up a little bit on that defensive line to send more speed?
they may have to get creative and figure it out because at the end of the day, you want your best guys out there. And right now, man, as weird as it sounds, going to sound coming out of my mouth, Jimenez is looking like one of
He
our
is.
better guys right now. So,
He does. I mean, I don't know where this guy has been all these years. It must have been a system fit. Maybe he just never fit with that Patrick Graham defense, and he just needed to be in a type of defense like the one he is right now with Martindale that could be able to take advantage of his skill sets. And clearly it is. I mean, this guy is just on a different level right now with how he's playing. And I mean, we'll all eat the crow because every single one of us
yeah.
Giants fans have been crapping on O'Shane Ximines for years and how this guy sucks. He shouldn't be on the team anymore. Most of us did not even have him on our initial 53-man roster. But what he's done is he's gone out there, put in the work, and he's now showing it on the field that this guy belongs. And he is easily going to be a big part of this rotation going forward. He's making a guy like Ellison Smith, who's hurt right now, look expendable with how good O'Shane
Well,
Ximines has played.
Ellerson Smith has not been available, so right now it's just he's just I don't know. He hasn't been available his whole entire career yet, so I don't know what to say about this
No.
kid. You can't have no real read on him, nothing, because he has not been healthy. It's just like Shane Lemieux. He just hasn't, not, they haven't shown an ability to be healthy, to stay healthy. And how about what's your feelings, your views? I refuse to refer to number 19 by his name anymore until he
Oh, I
earns
was
that
just about to
respect
get
back.
to him. I
So
mean,
yeah, you tell me
it,
how you feel.
I mean, go watch most of my live stream if you get the chance. I mean, I was pretty much screaming that guy's name. $72 million well spent, huh, Dave? Sitting his ass on
Yeah,
the fucking sidelines the entire time with David Sills and other guys playing more. Are you serious? Kenny Galladay is that bad that he can't even come on the field, and he's supposed to be your potential number one receiver. And I mean,
he's getting
Kadarius Toney is another one. He didn't show up at all either. Now I know it might be the hamstring; they're trying to limit his snaps, but your potential two top receivers did jack shit today. Jack shit. Nothing. Nothing. And these are two guys that are supposed to be your two leading receivers on this team. The only receiver that we thought would play a role in this team is Sterling Shepard, and he's the only guy that was out there for majority of the snaps making plays. No, Slayton barely even played too. He obviously is in the doghouse. I don't know what's going
well.
on with Kenny Galladay, but this is a freaking joke right now. I swear, I don't know what is going on, why this guy can't get on the field. But it's got to be something going on behind the scenes because there's no reason why you pay a guy $72 million to sit on the damn sidelines for the entire game and not even get – did he even get 5 snaps this game? Did he even get
I'm
5
not.
snaps? Because I don't think
I'm
so.
not sure. I'm not. It was. They said he only got like a handful of snaps. I only actually. There was only one point that I remember seeing him on the field. That's how little he was out there. So
It's a
only
freaking
one.
joke.
It was only one time I actually noticed him on the field. So it's he's just number 19 to me for right now.
I wouldn't
That's
even
just
give
so
him that.
and that's just so you know who I'm talking about at this point because to me, you're not earning your name here in New York City, man. And honestly, we need to send that back to Detroit or send
No.
him somewhere else. Send it there somewhere else because there's a reason why Detroit didn't. Must maybe we're finding out a reason why Detroit didn't want to throw money at him and keep him in town. Maybe we're finding that out, man. Because
This this
this
dude
guy
should
has
not even
just
been
done
active.
nothing.
He should not have even been active. That's how much of a waste he was on this team right now because what does he have all season? 2 catches? 2 catches for 22
Two catches
yards?
for 22 yards.
Yeah, I mean that's
Today
it.
he was not even targeted at all today.
That's your $72 million receiver, Mac, right there. That's your potential number one receiver that we paid for last offseason. Great job there, Dave Gettleman. Way to bring that guy in and have him go out there and really step up. I mean, at this point, I don't even want to hear the fact that they want to try to like manage his snaps, like it was the scheme or anything like that. You do not pay a guy $72 million to sit on the bench. I'm sorry. There's got to be something more to the fact that Kenny Galladay did not play, and Kadarius Toney is in the same box right now as Kenny Galladay because he's a first-round pick, and he has done nothing. He's gone through 2 games and not had a catch yet. I'm sorry, he had 2 catches, like you said, for 0 yards.
Okay, can we reference this Cowboys? The Cowboys just went up 14-3 on the Cincinnati Bengals. Cooper Rush. Remember earlier in the morning show we had the topic Cooper Rush will he get 200 yards passing. Cooper Rush is now 7 for 9, 116 yards and a touchdown, and it is still the first quarter. Well, first quarter is about to end, about to head into the second quarter. So pretty
I'll be
sure he's
pro
going to
on
get
that.
there. Pretty sure he's going to get there. I'm just throwing that out there. But also, just in general, Dallas Cowboys right now look off to a very impressive start against Cincinnati Bengals. So that's what the Giants got next Monday night, man. And they're looking like they're not going away either. So this Cowboy team looks like they're not going to let this Dak injury hold them back, man. Cooper Rush is off to a very hot start in this game.
And Burrow just got sacked.
And Joe Burrow is once again off to a very slow start.
It's his offensive line. His offensive line is terrible right now. They cannot protect Joe Burrow for anything. I mean, he's getting no protection. The offensive line is getting bullied right now. So that's going to make the – I thought the Bengals would be one of the teams that would go potentially a Super Bowl this year. With the way their offensive line is performing right now, that's no way in hell happening. They look like the Bungles from a couple of years ago. And the Cowboys, I mean, you got to give them credit too. As much as we hate this team, plus we cannot stand the effing Cowboys, they're going out there right now and they're playing a good game. And Cooper Rush is trying to let everybody know that he could be a decent quarterback in this league for the next few weeks. And they're going to get stronger next week when they get a guy like Michael Gallup, who I believe is going to come back next week. And we know as Giant fans what Michael Gallup has done to us. That guy has had a living. That guy has had a living of torturing us with some of the big catches he's had. So you can't take them lightly.
Thank God for an extra day of preparation. Hopefully,
no doubt,
that can help get Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau back on the field, man, because we definitely need these guys, man. I think the Cowboys are showing us, like I said, that they're not to be slept on, man. People started counting them out maybe a little too early. They look way better than they did a week ago against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you can't say it's because of no level of competition. They're playing against another really good football team. Cincinnati Bengals, if not a better football team, at least on paper. And they're handling them right now.
Absolutely.
And it just seems to go with the theme of the week, man. I did my picks for the week, and they're horrible, man. I know. Without even looking officially at them, I did horrible this week on my picks, man, because the Indianapolis Colts, you got to be kidding me, man. That team is a joke, man. Right now, they're a mess.
Oh my God.
That team is a mess right now. And the Jets beating the Browns, I definitely didn't have that one, man.
Tua, 6 touchdowns today. Six touchdown passes for Tua Tagovailoa. Who would have thought that was coming? I'll eat crow right now. A whole 2 plateful of crow because I said that Tua would not do anything. And he was great today.
What's going on, Alex, man? That's right. Giants victory, man. 2-0, baby. First place in the NFC East.
Now, Mac, do you agree with what Reek says? Is that do you think by the midseason this offense will start to click a little bit better when it comes to the pass game? Because the pass protection was a little rough for this team in this game. They were getting exposed on. Andrew Thomas, I thought had one of his worst games today. He was getting beat on some plays often. He did not look good in this game.
Well, the whole offensive line took a step back, I feel like, from last week, honestly. It was a lot of rough spots for the O-line, man. But I think Rick is right. This offensive line, they're gonna offense in general, it's gonna start clicking, man. It's gonna just start coming together. As you see down the stretch of this week, man, this game, what they were able to do, man, in the fourth quarter, in the clutch moments of this game, this offense was able to make some plays, you know what I mean, and put the points on the board necessary to win this football game. Like I said, there is nothing in the win-loss column that mentions how pretty the win is. A win is a win. It just gets marked down as a W or an L. And right now we got 2 W's and 0 L's. And that's all that really matters, man. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter about the luck that's on your side. It's just something about winning, man. And it's going to be a snowball effect, man. It's a snowball. Like this team is going to continue to get better. It's going to continue to grow. And they believe in themselves. They believe in themselves. They know how to win. They're learning how to win. They're just putting things together, man. Like I said, this team a year ago would be 0-2 right now. They would have lost both of these games. There's no doubt in my mind that this team from a year ago would have lost both of these first 2 games, man.
You're absolutely right, bro.
It's just great, man. It's just a great feeling to just know that winning ways are on their way back to New York. Consistent winning is on its way back to New York Giants organization, man.
It's infectious, bro.
It's been long overdue.
It's infectious when you're a team that starts winning and you're able to string together some of these tough wins during the beginning of the season. It's going to just help out the confidence of your team going forward. And how do you think it feels for a guy like Daniel Jones, who, yes, he wasn't great today, but Daniel Jones now has confidence to go out there that he can get the job done with the fact that he was able to have the ball in his hands not once but twice in both of these games because the coach believed in him enough to be able to go out there and make the plays to win these games, and that's exactly what he did. And that's only going to help out the confidence of a guy like Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley's confidence is starting to go up a lot more, and you need to see stuff like that in a guy like Saquon. The defense, I mean, can we talk about the defense a lot more? Because this defense was like, holy shit, how good this defense was. Yeah, they had a little bit of hiccups. That one drive by Baker, I believe, in the third quarter. I think it was early on in the third quarter where they drove him down for a touchdown. But otherwise, this defense rose up. And, God, did they have a great game. Darnay Holmes was a beast in the slot. Flott, he struggled a little bit in the beginning of the game, but he picked it up. Adoree Jackson. And, I mean, Julian Love, I hope the Giants can ink this guy to a contract because I love this dude. This guy is a glue player. He is a glue player on this team with that key sack he had to sack Baker in the backfield. And Xavier McKinney.
Both
oh, my
tremendous. They were
God.
both tremendous today.
McKinney. How good was McKinney? He was
All over the
unbelievable.
field. All over the field.
He was fantastic.
Tremendous effort.
And I mean, of course, O'Shane Ximines. We're gonna everybody in this Giants team right now and this fan base is gonna shower O'Shane Ximines with all the love that he deserves.
Jahai Ward too. I mean,
played it. Jahai Ward was great too. Absolutely.
Jahai Ward had a nice game as well today, man. These guys, these are our depth pieces. So
Nick Williams
these are the depth pieces. These aren't even the guys we were expecting to depend on. These are just the rotational guys. Like I said, I'm excited to get. I can't wait till we can get Ojulari and Thibodeau back in this lineup, man. I want to see it. This defense has been holding its own, and they have been keeping us in both of these first two games. And like I said, the effort is just. I can't say more about it, man. Like I said, especially in the secondary, because I just thought it was just going to be long afternoons for us this season with our secondary, with especially the cornerback situation. But they're like you said, Cordell Flock, I picked on a little bit, but clearly he was holding his own out there because wasn't picking on him the whole game, and there's a reason why for that, because he must have been getting the job done. So, like I said, the red zone defense, oh man, forcing those field goals, you just can't speak more about it, man. And I'm just really excited going forward. This season now I am rejuvenated again. Once again, rejuvenated. My battery's charged, baby. Let's go. New York football, Giants football is back, baby.
Let's go.
Back.
That's right,
it is
baby.
Back. Real New York Giant football. It's back.
And I'm glad you said that because this team right now is playing like those old school Giants teams. Gritty as hell. Pound the ball up the middle, defense, and they have those clutch plays by the quarterback and the wide receivers occasionally making those big plays. It's old school Giants football. That's what this team feels like right now. Old school, gritty bunch of players, old school football. And that's how the Giants won, and that's the reason why the Giants are winning. Old school football. And that's what we need to see more of for the rest of the season, is that old school, gritty type performance by this team.
These coaches having the confidence to go back to Saquon Barkley late in this game when he was, like I said, clearly being bottled up most of the day. But just to still have the confidence, you know what, you're still our guy. We're going to still turn around and we're going to keep feeding you. And that's what happens. You keep feeding Saquon Barkley enough, he's going to start busting some shit loose. That's what he does. That's what he does. You can never go away. You don't go away from that. You keep it going. You keep that energy, man.
Absolutely.
And like I said, this is what I mean about the whole dynamic of this football team. Hate to keep reverting back to these guys, but I guess you take this team, this regime from a year ago, they would probably went away from Saquon saying, he's ineffective. We're just go out and just try to wing it all over the place, Daniel Jones. And you know what that can do. That forces mistakes and forces errors. You know what I mean? Like they said, Daniel Jones' it's no coincidence Daniel Jones' best season was Saquon Barkley's last fairly healthy season. And he wasn't even 100% healthy that whole season. That was his second year in the league. He wasn't. You know what I mean? He missed a few games with that ankle that year too.
Bro. Two players that Daniel Jones needs out there: Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard. You don't know how important those two players are to Daniel Jones. How important those two players are to this team, and those two guys are the leaders of this team. And it's rubbing off on a guy like Daniel Jones. Those two guys are so important to this Giants team and that Giants offense. It's no coincidence that those guys are on the field right now making plays, and it's rubbing off on the rest of this team. It's rubbing off on the rest of this team, and I feel so good. I feel so good right now for guys like O'Shane Ximines, for guys like Daniel Jones, for guys like Saquon Barkley, for guys like Sterling Shepard that have been here for years, getting shat on for all the losing that they've had to deal with. And now these guys get that taste of winning. Shepard for a second time. Barkley, Jones, Ximines for the first time. All those guys that have been here for years. that have been losing and losing and losing and losing for so long, and they finally know what it's like to get that taste of victory, not once, but twice at the beginning of the season. That's who I feel good for. 8, 53, 26, 3. Those four guys right there, the longest tenured guys, are getting what it feels like to taste those victories in New York.
Yeah,
I feel good for them.
He said just only tough break is like I said,
Dex,
Leo
too.
Williams thing. And we hope like hell. I'm assuming he's gonna get an MRI tomorrow. I would assume hopefully we get some good news from that.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see, man, because he's a big piece.
Yeah.
And he will not be easily replaced if he's not able to go, man. So
who would you replace him with? If Leo is out for the season, who do you think realistically would replace him? Nick Williams?
I think it's not gonna just be any one person, man. You're just gonna have to
Good point.
shuffle some guys in there and see what happens, man. Leo's not going to be replaced by any one guy. We don't have any one guy that's going to be able to come in and replace the production or just what he brings to the table, man. I mean,
I agree.
Offenses have the game plan for Leo. You know, he's a player you have the game plan for. He's not like just some average guy out there. So we'll see,
You got
man.
scheme
We'll hope
for
for
him.
the best. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Have to hope for the best with that.
I really want to know though. I don't want to turn this negative because we're riding high, but I really want to know what the hell is going on with Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney. I really want to know what's going on with these two guys because it's just still it's irking me. It's really getting me mad why these two guys can't see the field. I get maybe with Toney because he's dealing with a hamstring, they want to limit his snaps, but there's got to be something going on, bro.
Tony was on the field quite a bit today. He played a lot more snaps than he did a week ago. He was on the field.
He just didn't get targeted.
Not much, yeah, not very much. And then he had the one drop, which that could have potentially, with him, his skill set, been a big play if he just eyed the ball in before turning upfield. You know what I mean? So that things like that, he's got to clean those errors like that up. But at the same time, you just got to figure out ways to utilize him the right way. I think that's part of what it is. It's just really trying to find his true niche and what he really is going to bring, what he can bring to this offense. Like you said, the guy can do special things with the ball in his hand. He just got to get in position to do it, man. We got to figure it out. And like I said, as far as number 19, I don't know. I'm over that experiment, man. It's just not. It's clearly
he doesn't even deserve a number. He does not even deserve a number. Does not even deserve his number to be said.
It's clearly a disconnect there. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. He's just now collecting big money from the New York Giants, and he's not doing a damn thing to earn it. So,
Mac, I think it might just be, I believe, what Lou and Pat and those guys said too. Maybe it's just Daniel Jones does not have he has connection better with guys like Richie James, with guys like David Sills, with guys like Sterling Shepard. I'm shocked with Darius Slayton. I really thought he would play more because of the connection that Jones and Slayton have. I don't know if Slayton's hurt or not, but I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's not playing. Yeah,
he was on the sideline looking perfectly fine, and he was in full uniform, and it was nice and clean. He did not look like he even barely touched the field. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't notice him on any plays in particular. So
I just don't understand
know how much. I don't. It's the fact that you got David Sills, Richie James both getting far more reps than a Darius Slayton, than a Kenny Golladay. That's problematic for me right now. I don't really understand. Oh, I just said his name, didn't I? I didn't even mean to.
Yeah, you did. You did. You slipped on that one, Mac. You slipped.
Number 19.
That word shall never be spoken by Giants fans until that dude goes out there. I'm gonna call him that dude because he doesn't even deserve his number. He doesn't even deserve to be active until he actually goes out there and earns that number and earns his name back. So I'm just gonna call him that dude.
Like, how long do we have to wait for a touchdown, bro? How long do we have to wait for one?
How long do we have to wait for a good game? Because he hasn't had that in a long time, too. He hasn't had a good game in a year and a half.
He hasn't had a good game with us at all.
No.
Not a good one.
But
I mean,
if
the thing is crazy because you see the effort like of a Daniel Bellinger. Sure, he only had the one catch, but the effort is to get into the end zone, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And honestly, I don't care what number 19 is making, man. I don't care what his salary is. Yeah, I can care less about the salary. At this point, I want what's best for the New York Giants team. And if he's not what's best for the New York Giants team, then keep his ass on that sideline. I don't care. I can care less. He can sit over there and pout. He can feel any type of way he wants to. But if he's not what's best for this team, then just I want to keep this going. I want to keep this mojo going.
Yeah.
I want to keep this good energy going.
It's clear they don't need him. They don't need, right now the Giants are winning, and it's right now showing they don't need Kenny Golladay because David Sills, while he wasn't great today, he still was going out there and making plays. And it's clear as day, Brian Daboll trusts David Sills right now more than Kenny Golladay. And I think he even trusts Richie James right now more than Kadarius Toney. And I really believe, Mac, the question is, when Wan'Dale Robinson comes back from injury, how are they going to deploy him? Because he's another guy that they drafted in the second round, and you know for a fact the Giants brass love Wan'Dale Robinson. So you have to wonder how much snaps he's going to get in this offense. And maybe they're going to go for like a 4 or 5 wide receiver rotation with like Robinson, Shepard, James, and Sills as the majority of guys that take the snaps. And Toney might just be like in a scat back role, like a do-it-all player.
I mean, Wan'Dale will give you that opportunity to just be a little more creative offensively. Like you saw that. I mean, we only did it one time. That one formation that came out with like 3 running backs had Cleveland all confused, mixed up. They didn't know what was going on. And then Gary Brightwell gets his first carry of the season, busts up the middle for a big first down. You know, so it just gives you the opportunity to be more. Once you get Wan'Dale back, you have way more opportunities to be creative with the offense, and we'll just see. We'll see how it works, man. But I do. One thing I want to see next week against the Cowboys on Monday night, man, big time, is I don't want us to wait till the second half to start playing. We got to get started early.
Yeah.
Man. Get it going from the beginning.
That was a pitiful offensive performance in the first half. I mean, it was just squeamish watching that offense out there trying to operate. Jones was not good. Barkley couldn't run anywhere. He's getting tackled in the backfield. The offensive line was dreadful. The wide receivers, for the most part, couldn't separate. The offense was just a disaster the entire first. It honestly made us feel like Joe Judge was the head coach again. He was running that Jason Garrett style offense with how bad that offense was in the first half. But luckily in the second half, they were able to open things up more. Richie James had a nice couple of catches in the middle of the field. Shepard had that big penalty that he drew on the outside. David Sills with a couple of first down catches. I mean, the offense was opening. Barkley finally started to get some running room up there in the middle. So, I mean, the offense started to get it going, but, I mean, we need to see more. I agree. The offense has got to start doing more of their part, and maybe it is the fact of, like we were saying, the offense is going to have to take more time to get, like, you know, that feel for one another and just be able to adjust to one another because the fact it's a new system, offensive line trying to gel, players still learning the offense. So it might take, you know, possibly half the season for this offense to finally get into their own groove. So the defense, it's clear the defense and the running game is going to carry this team, but occasionally Daniel Jones being able to go out there and make some plays with his arm and his feet. Mostly it was his feet today more than his arm.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, like I said, the kid was clutch down the stretch, man. It was a little dicey early going in the game, man. But he just always, this is what he does. This is why he's got giant fan base so divided too, because this is what he does. This is what he'll
Jekyll and Hyde stuff. Jekyll and Hyde. He does it all the time.
He'll give you that play where you're like just scratching your head. You're like, oh, what the hell is this kid doing? He's not doing. He's not. And then all of a sudden, he goes out there and just makes these plays where you're like, oh, he can do it. He can do it. He's just got to do it consistently, man, and do it for 4 quarters and not just so spotty. It's just so weird with this guy, man. It's like, damn, all I want is the best for him. I just want the best. But I want the best for the New York Giants, man. And he's still got to get more consistent for me, man. But
we're still waiting for that game where he can go up there and put up the big game where he can carry the team on offense where he's about throwing over 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. We're all still waiting for that as a Giants fan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, still 3 on the season. That's not horrible, you know, by regular standards. But at the same time, 3 touchdown passes through the first 2 weeks. It's pretty damn good for him the last couple of years.
Compared to what he did the past couple of years, that's a big upgrade for Daniel Jones. His efficiency is actually pretty good too. He's actually been very efficient as a quarterback. I don't know what his quarterback rating was today. What was his quarterback rating today in the game?
I can check it out.
It got to be close to 100 or over 100 because he was pretty accurate most of the game, except for a couple of errant throws. He's pretty much on the rush for a lot of time.
It
But
was
yeah,
87.4
that's
on
not
the
bad.
day.
That's not too.
I
It's
mean,
not
that's
great, but it's not too bad.
it's just because it's just the low passing yards. You know what I mean? And he only averaged 5.2 yards a completion. So it's like it's just things like that. I mean,
Well, that offensive line was horrid. I mean, the offensive line could not. I say it before. The offensive line didn't really give him a lot of time to be able to operate. Daniel Jones made those decisions. Like we all were sitting there scratching our head when he had a wide open Tony over in the middle of the end zone. Shepard was earlier wide open in the end zone before that. There was plays where Daniel Jones did not look away from where he was and go to another read that he should have been able to see one of those guys open. So we're still seeing that kind of stuff from Daniel Jones.
and
But at the
he
same
also
time, that
threw a
offensive
couple.
line is terrible.
He also threw a couple of balls where he was lucky they didn't get picked off. So
The
he
one
had a
before the
couple.
first half.
Yeah, he had threw one across the middle at one point too. That was just like, no, you shouldn't
Yeah.
have put that there. But
Or the one that was right
but,
before the first half when he threw that right at the safety. And the safety, we're lucky the safety dropped the pan. Another thing, the Panthers dropped a ton of passes today. They dropped a lot of balls. They were
we caught a
pause.
break.
We did, and
Definitely
especially
caught a break.
the first two turnovers of the game where they fumbled it on the opening run back, as well as right after that where I think it was Robbie Anderson fumbled it on the second
And
drive. So
speaking of those, as for what it's worth, those actually were the keys to the game. Because honestly,
Yes.
even though we
Right.
only got 6 points out of that, 2 field goals, the reality is, was as bad as the offense was in the first half, if we didn't get those turnovers, we would have easily gotten shut out in that first half as bad as we
right.
played in the first half. So that was clearly, that was the keys to this victory too. Was those turnovers early in the game. Would like to see touchdowns, but the field goals, we still got points out the deal, and it ended up helping us win this football game.
got a KG update from Big Blue. Apparently, he bolted during his press conference after it was over. You know what? I don't give a shit if he bolted. Because you know what? He's been stealing money from this team for a year and a half. I don't care if he bolted anything. Go out there and actually earn your damn contract, Kenny Galladay. I'm sorry, I'll say the name now. So I feel like an asshole for saying it. I don't care if he bolted. Get him off this team. He's useless right now. I'd rather see David Sills out there than Galladay.
If I was him, I wouldn't want to face the media either.
No.
He should be embarrassed. He should feel embarrassed because you got guys like Richie James and David Sills out there making plays, and you're making $72 million while they're making the league minimum. So, so you got guys like that out there outshining you, looking better than you, helping this New York Football Giant team out a lot more than him. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to face the media either because that New York media is going to eat his ass alive.
As they should.
I'm this guy here, man. I just don't have any.
It gets
more
me
words
mad
for
just
him.
thinking about it. It gets me furious just thinking about that this guy is making $72 million to be a bench player. I mean, that's just, it's ridiculous. And he's supposed to be a leader in this wide receiver core, Mac. He's supposed to be a guy that you're supposed to be relying on as a leader. Besides Shep, he's the veteran of this group, and he's doing nothing. We're relying on guys that were either undrafted free agents or a guy that was pretty much out of the league in Richie James as our primary guys, and a $72 million wide receiver can't even get on the field for more than 5 snaps. It's ridiculous that this guy is robbing the Giants of their money right now, and he is a $72 million waste right now on that bench. If the Giants could cut him, I'm sure they would. And if they could find a way to get rid of this dude, I'm sure they would, because he's just right now he offers nothing to this team. He offers and brings nothing to the table.
He has no trade value right now either, so it's not even like it's nothing. It's just
You have to cut him.
He's providing nothing at all for this football team in any way. He's not even right now. Nobody's taking phone calls for number 19. Nobody is.
They'll laugh at us if we try to make a call if anybody tried to make a call for Kenny Galladay. Like, do you want Kenny Galladay? We'll give him away. We will literally give him away for anything. You know what the other team will do? They'll take that phone, laugh, and then hang up immediately, because that's exactly what every team is doing right now, laughing at the Giants, at Dave Gettleman for signing that dude for $72 million. And I really wonder, Mac, I really believe now in my heart of heart that Dave Gettleman got desperate last year, and he knew Kenny Galladay was not the same player. He had that injury to his hip a couple of years ago that he had surgery on, and probably zapped his explosiveness that he had a couple of years before when he was a Pro Bowl receiver, and he was probably never going to be the same guy. And Gettleman got desperate and decided to sign him because he wanted to try to see what Daniel Jones could do for this team, and that's the only reason why Galladay is here. Gettleman got desperate, signed him to that big deal, even knowing that there's been rumors out there that the Giants knew about Galladay with that hip. I don't know if it's true or not, but there have been strong rumors that they knew about it, and they still signed this guy.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Sterling Shepard from 8 months. Sterling Shepard tears his Achilles 8 months ago, and not only does he get back on the field, he takes the most snaps on this team, and he's been playing great since he's come back. What the hell is that's what a veteran receiver is supposed to do? Lead your team. And Kenny Galladay can't do that. He can't do that. It's a fucking joke, bro. It's a joke.
Kenny Galladay he's been such a monumental disappointment, man. It's just one thing, to not work out, but to appear to not even be working. It's just
that's one thing he hasn't been doing is working.
It looks even worse, man. I don't even understand anymore. I can't wrap my head around it, man. It's just terrible all across the board, man. But like I said, fuck him. Forget about him for right now.
Yeah.
This New York Giants team 2-0. It's 2-0. We got another week to enjoy, be happy, rejoice. Love this, man. I love it. I love these winning ways. Love this life, man. And I can get used to it, man. I want to keep the party rolling, man.
We're gonna keep it rolling, man. We owe Dallas an ass whipping, bro. There's any team that the Giants. Is there any team that the Giants owe an ass whipping to? It's the Dallas Cowboys. And I know they're playing well right now against the Bengals, but we owe this team. We owe this team so much an ass whipping. And I expect the Giants to come out there again on their home field and go out there and defend their turf, and especially if we get Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari at the outside linebacker positions. And you have to think about that offensive line that's horrible. They're putrid. They can't protect anybody. The Giants should be able to feast on a guy like Dak. Even without Leonard Williams, if he's gone for the year, which would suck, you still have Dexter Lawrence. You still have Kayvon Thibodeau coming back. You have Azeez Ojulari and O'Shane Ximines, who looks like he's just like, I don't know what happened to him. Like he just rediscovered his talent that he had in Old Dominion a few years ago. I mean, that's the thing that we have to think and look forward to right now is that the Giants' defense is still without their two top pass rushers. And they're going to be getting them back most likely against Dallas because they were close to coming back this week. So,
well, Kayvon said he felt good. Kayvon said he felt good. Obviously, he doesn't make the choice of whether he's medically cleared or not, but he was saying he felt good. So, hope that's a good sign that he definitely will be on the field next Monday night, man. But I'm about to wrap this edition up at the aftermath, man, because I'm ready to get a little dinner in my stomach, man, and watch some more football the rest of the evening. Enjoy the rest of the football Sunday. Enjoy another week, man. 2-0 New York Giants. Yes, I said it. I did not. I said that.
Say it again. Say it again so everybody can hear it.
New York Giants.
That's right.
2-0. The undefeated New York Football Giants, baby.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we are.
Feels good.
And can nobody take that away from us? Remember, like the old great New York Giant coach Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says you are. And right now, our record says we are 2-0. Let's get it, baby.
Let's go. 2-0, and let's make it 3-0 next week against Dallas. Let's keep those winning ways going. Let's keep the positive vibes going. Let it just slide, and let everybody keep doubting us. Let everybody keep throwing us to the ground, saying they might be a fluke. And we'll just keep sneaking in the door. Keep pulling up those W's. Keep putting up those dubs every single week. The Giants are back. Man. The Giants are back. We were dormant for about 10 years, but we are back. The Giants, the New York Football Giants are back.
They have awoken the sleeping Giants, baby. Let's go. It's football's back in New York City, man. Football is back in New York City. Let's do it. Jeff, man, thanks for coming on, man. Joining me for the aftermath. It's always a pleasure, man.
No, thank you for having me, bro.
Next Monday night is going to be a late aftermath. Next Monday night, obviously after the Monday night football game, but we will still be going down next Monday night live immediately following the football game with the True Blue Aftermath next week. And don't forget, on Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern Time, check me and my guy, Adam Costas, out for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup.
Yep.
Thanks to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Smack the Giants fan with my guy NYG Jeffy T. Pay. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.